Welcome back, or welcome for the very first time to 28 Days of Love.
We're so glad you're here, truly, whether you've been rocking with us since season 1 or you're just finding us. This space was created with you in mind.
This season is special, not just because it's February, not just because love is in the air, but because we're stepping into our third year of marriage and our third season of 28 Days of Love.
3 years of learning, 3 years of stretching, 3 years of choosing each other, sometimes with ease, sometimes with tears, and always with intention.
If you were with us last season, you know it ended abruptly. Life happened in a way we didn't plan for, and honestly, in a way we weren't ready to share at that time.
Last season ended because we experienced a second miscarriage. That loss changed us. It slowed us down. It forced us to grieve privately and together.
There were moments we questioned if we'd ever come back to this space. Moments where talking about love felt heavy, even hard.
But here's what we learned. Love doesn't disappear in loss. It gets quieter, it gets deeper. And sometimes it waits until you're strong enough to speak again.
So when we say we're back, we don't mean the same versions of ourselves.
We're back healed in places, still healing in others, but rooted, committed, and more intentional than ever.
For those who are new, 28 Days of Love is our way of inviting you into our real marriage. No filters, no perfections, no pretending.
For 28 days, we talk about love as it actually exists, in communication, in conflict, in intimacy, in faith, in healing.
And this season, we're not doing it alone.
We're bringing in 4 incredible couples, 1 couple each week, who will join us and share their stories, their lessons, their challenges, and their victories.
Different backgrounds, different journeys, different seasons, but one common thread. They're committed to doing the work love requires.
This season is for the couples who are thriving and for the couples who are barely holding on.
It's for the newly married, the long married, and even those believing God for marriage someday.
It's for anyone who's had to grieve something inside their relationship and wondered, can we come back from this?
Because the answer is
yes.
With grace, with honesty, and with God at the center.
So for the next 28 days, we invite you to lean in with us.
Laugh with us, learn with us, heal with us.
And let love, real love, do its work. Welcome to season 3 of 28 Days of Love.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to season 3, day 4 of 28 Days of Love. We're back in the
Building.
back in the building. All right, whatever. That works too.
Yeah.
So today's Thursday. Yesterday we had our
Game night.
couple competition.
And I won. Go watch the replay. Smoked them.
You won't be mature about this. So anyway.
He's just mad because he lost.
Do the right thing. You won one game. We didn't get to play the other game. So technically it's a tie. But anyway, moving right along. So we have a very special couple, newlyweds. You know, remind me of us when we first practically. Well, I mean, we're still in love.
I would hope so.
Anyway, yeah, we have the Mitchells on today. I'm excited to be able to introduce our couple of the week. They've been married 24 hours. No, I'm joking. 12 minutes. No, 10 seconds. No, I'm joking. So I'm gonna bring them right on, and we're going to get into our segment because I know y'all didn't come here for us today. Y'all came here for the
The
Mitchells. So welcome.
Welcome,
The
welcome,
Mitchells
welcome,
is
welcome,
in the
welcome.
building.
Ow, ow, ow.
Why are you
Really?
laughing?
Because I can't,
There.
whatever
There
noise
it
you're
is.
supposed to do.
I don't know, but it might not have been hollering.
So,
You got to do something about your math too, Doc. If you only played one game, it can't be a tie.
we
Thank you.
We
Can't be a
finished one
tie.
game.
I won.
Hey, the first game
Mm-hmm.
I won with the balloons. Remember?
No, you had an advantage. That I wouldn't
So
consider that winning.
you want to lie?
I'm not lying. You had an advantage because you picked the game.
Instagram picked the games.
Okay.
So
I didn't know what I was
thou shalt
doing
not-
in the first one.
No. Anyway,
I won.
Anyway.
Wow, work.
we both won one. Sounds like a tie. Let's leave it at that, or I'll say you lost. It's like no. So today we have the Mitchells. I'm excited. You know, I'm always excited when Bishop-elect is on the mic. He's got some
Bishop-elect.
favor this time.
Man, yeah.
He's got some favor with him this time, some added favor. His beautiful wife, Erica Mitchell. And so we're glad to have them. Come on, babe. Be your first lady.
What? I know. I'm trying to. I'm making sure
Oh, okay.
everything's working.
So anyway, cutting up. So today is choosing love again, and we chose this. Well, we chose this kind of like randomly.
Mhm.
We didn't know. Obviously, our friends were gonna get married this soon, but I mean, we're ecstatic, we're elated, we're just rejoicing in their union, and it just so happened that today, day 4 is choosing love again, and so we're gonna get right into it. So our daily devotional for it is choosing love again. Love isn't a one-time decision; it's a daily decision. And so today we must choose to love again, not because it's easy, but because it's worth it.
Mhm.
So got y'all in the seat now. All right, so here's the mic. Here you go. So choosing to love again. Both of y'all have been married. Both of y'all have chose to love again. What fueled that? He's looking at you.
Well, I mean, it's 9 times out of 10 is probably two different reasonings. I myself, to be quite honest, I truly wasn't even looking. I had moved to North Carolina trying to recover from just the hand I was dealt up in New Jersey, trying to make a life for myself, and just really trying to restart. I never thought that I wasn't even seeking out the opportunity for a relationship. Wasn't even on my mind like that for real. And lo and behold, God had a different priority for me. I had to get open to it because I like you said, I've been married before, been through some things, some ups and downs.
Yeah.
And it changes you, you know, and I had to let go of some things still every day, you know, learning to getting comfortable with being stretched in certain ways, you know, because it is different, you know, and it's different being older. You know, we talked about this earlier today when we was on the phone. Like, it's different when you're older. Like you see things different. You kind of where you are. So when God gets to stretching, is not as you're not as flexible as you are when you're younger.
Mhm.
So it is indeed a challenge. But like I told you earlier today, I couldn't imagine me doing it without the woman sitting next to me. Life is very life has been different. Life has been good, even with the ups and downs. Like I said, I can't imagine doing life right now without her. And I don't know what the prophetess may have to tell you all, as the word stirs up in her spirit.
There is a word.
Even now.
R-A-T now.
He just looks like he's doing something he don't got no business. That's unfortunate.
What are they doing?
I guess they're waiting for you to go.
We're waiting for
Yeah.
Are you waiting for me?
Oh, the prophetess.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
Prosperous.
Well, I'm shy. I don't do this camera stuff like this, but I just knew I always wanted to be a wife. I always wanted to be in that role. Yes, I have been married before. My first one ended in my late husband passing. And that's something that I have still been dealing with for the last couple of years. But I always knew that that's what I wanted. So I wasn't looking either when I actually met him, but it was just something about him that God was like, this is it. So I think I pursued him than him pursuing me. And that's a whole nother story, but yeah, and that wasn't that really. You gotta sip that coffee. Yeah. So I just knew that was something I always wanted to be and to do, was to be married. So I always knew I was going to be married again. So I'm glad that I'm gonna do this journey with him as well.
Amen after that.
Excuse me.
No, that's beautiful.
Later
Not
is
looking
determined
for it,
to be over here.
But you said something that is quite controversial in today's world, especially for those that are traditionalists. And there are so many opinions and New Age thoughts concerning a woman giving a man a healthy push, like, hey, and this isn't scripted. This question wasn't scripted. I wasn't gonna ask y'all.
Let's be out
How
here.
did you? Because I believe in I wasn't looking either. I wasn't looking to love again, right? Like I was going to be a monk, and like my wife, she just got in the way.
He's not exaggerating. You literally, he was going to be a monk. Like that was.
Oh no, yeah.
Like it's not just a saying. Like that he really thought this.
And but she just kept getting in my way. It's like everywhere
I kept getting.
I'm just saying, this is my version. You can tell your story.
Your version is always different, and it's always.
That's because you're not listening.
Okay. Finish it. What were you gonna say?
And it wasn't that, because it wasn't that she was like doing anything to get my attention. She just kept getting my attention.
Well.
You know what I mean? And like looking back on it now, like there was just something about her. You know what I mean? And I was intrigued. But I didn't pursue, like I was content with just being. But looking back on it, like I was intrigued. But anyway, how was that? Because they ain't come to hear us talk, they came to hear. How was that?
Oh, mic muted. They can't hear.
Can't hear what?
Us.
Oh, the mic.
The mic went out.
Sorry about that, y'all. They said the mic went out.
Yeah, it's your mic. Your mic went out. You can just use it.
No.
We could share it.
We don't have to share.
No, you got louder now, bro.
Yeah, the other mic isn't
So turn my
It's not.
It's not.
No, y'all good now.
Right, babe. Come on.
Okay, well,
She don't know nothing about this technology.
I don't.
All right, so but how was that? And in what context, I guess, are you saying like pursue? Because so many people have so. I'm a traditionalist, but I'm grateful that like my wife, she kind of did give me a push. Well, and of course the Lord was like, "This is your wife, dummy." Like, hello, like this is your wife, because I didn't see it. I mean, I seen her, but you know what I'm saying.
Not gonna be a mom.
So, but like that resonated with me when you said like I knew I wanted to be married. I knew that I wanted to be a wife. Like to have that desire to love again, and then to see the man of God and be like, yeah, this is it. The Lord said, this is it. How did that work on both sides?
Well, you asked the pushy. You want to go first?
Yeah,
Or the
ladies.
pusher, rather. I was the pushy.
No, yeah, you can.
Well, the person that was pushed, like I said before, I was here just trying to recover, trying to get a plan on how to build my life again. So to be honest, when my sister came to me, was like, man, I got my girl, you know what I'm saying? I got one for you, bro. And I was like, okay. I don't know if I'm gonna do it, but okay. She was pushing it to me, but I was where I was. And to be transparent, was in a depressive space. Just had went through so much, which me and you talked about ad nauseum. So when the opportunity was there, I really initially, I was gonna let it get by me, to be quite honest, just because I was just where I was psychologically, spiritually, emotionally. I was just in a different place. And it really, to be at 1,000 with you, she really, those first couple of interactions, she did engage first, because I wasn't even in it for real. And I thank God for her, because if she wouldn't have had it, and it's a part of her personality, she don't really sit back. If it's something that she's trying to do, she get to it. So she her engaging in that manner is really what pulled me out from where I was. I was like, okay, she got some heart, and lo and behold, here we are.
That's awesome. I like that.
I like that too. Sometimes y'all need a little bit of help.
Help the church. So, Lady Erica, for you,
She is the pusher. I was the
the
pusher.
pusher, yes. How did that look for you? Because I know, like, just from watching and then the exchanging pleasantries, but also just coming down there, spending time with y'all. I know that you have those traditional values. What I don't want to say what like made you go against what made you jump out there, like contrary to what like everybody else would think. Like the world is like, oh, the man should pursue, the man should supposed, what? Yeah. I know. I'm scrambling. Help me. Come on, prophetess.
Well, yeah. Traditionally, I hear it's crazy because I hear my mama said it all the time. A man should pursue you, and this, that, and the other. But I've always just been that one.
Mm-hmm.
Always been that one that kind of just like what he said. If I want it, I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
But I will say in this instance, I was just getting out of something and going through some stuff myself. So I was not looking as well. But when the numbers was exchanged through his sister or whatever, I did reach out to him. And I don't know why. I'm just going to be honest. I don't know why I did.
Yeah.
And
She like how I look in my pajama pants when she
whatever. Don't do that. Don't do that. We're gonna cut that out. So we're gonna edit this. So no. So and I don't know. And I just hit him up or whatever. But he even told me, he was like, if you hadn't text, if you hadn't reached, I wasn't gonna do
trying to
it.
tell you, the blessing would have got right by me.
And I was just like, to me, being who I am, I'm like, oh no, you would have, but it is what it is. But but so that's just kind of how it looked. But and now here we are. 2 weeks tomorrow, married, right? Be 2 weeks tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
What?
Yeah.
2 weeks to learn.
2 weeks. Wow, 2 weeks. Yes. So, what's different this time than the first marriage? You know, like the mindset going into this. Like, what? How do you recall your mind being different going into this, or was it still just as new? And you know, like, do you feel like you were prepared?
Even though I've been married before, I don't think I was prepared for it.
Yeah.
I still don't think I was prepared for it. I would say the first time it was kind of like, okay, I want this. And this time it was like, okay, God, you said this. So I think that's the difference with me.
That's good.
I mean, oddly enough, that's like I gotta agree with that. Originally, when I first was married, it was about this was something that I wanted. And this occasion here, accompanied with want and desire, there was a spiritual leading of this is your purpose place. I'll go a step further. When you're on this journey in life, you sometimes think you have an idea of how, who, what, when, where, and how. And God has a way of getting in there and flipping that all around. You know, before when I first was married, I was in a far different place, or better situation as far as me as an individual, as a man. On this time around, I was kind of at the worst of myself to a degree. Injured, coming off an injury, coming off an accident, body kind of banged up. My finances aren't like what they once were. Recovering from a couple of different things and a couple of different setbacks in life. And when God was like, well, yeah, and then not only did he say yeah, but he put the pieces in place to make it happen. Yes, getting married to my wife is one of the greatest things I've ever done. But yet and still, you still look at God and be like, man, could have kind of made this a little better for me, as far as just my personal standing. But like I said, God gets in there and he moves some things around. He made it happen more than I did, because I'd be tricking it up. I'll be messing it up. I'll be getting in my own way. But God made it happen, and I'm grateful for it.
Mm-hmm. It's funny that you said tricking it up and getting in the way, because like for me, I thought like I was going to be like the perfect husband, and I have like failed so many times where I'm like, I cannot recover from this. But like I have that same like stubbornness that Erica has. Well, not stubbornness, resilience. Like we're gonna keep going until the wheels fall off. Like so for me, I self-apply that. But like I remember like our first disagreement turned to argument, I was like, Lord, this marriage is not for me. I knew you called me to be a monk. Like, I've missed the mark, Lord. I have disobeyed in some way. Sin has entered into my heart, made me fall in love with this woman. And I forgive me, Father, for I know not what I do. And it's really been her ability and capacity to forgive and love, but also admit, well,
Hey, you
she's
know.
getting there with this.
Hey,
I'm
now.
saying I'm sorry. Pray for her, Reverend.
What?
I pray daily that our heart
I say
remains
sorry
soft to the
my
Lord.
own way.
You ain't saying it. So, you said yourself. But you know, interestingly enough, like I knew I had it in the bag. I knew I had it like all together, but I didn't realize that I defined it so much on being able to provide stability, but also like my perfectionism. And so I, you know, we've talked, you know, you're not gonna know in public, but in private, like I have made, for me as a man, I feel like I have failed so many times in private, and like that was a game changer. Like that crippled me mentally, you know, in some areas, and during some times in eras of our marriage, you know, especially like early on, you know, like you want to start strong, like. So when you said that, like it brought me back to that. Even like today, like you know, like I had a moment, you know, where, what's the word I always use? No word. Well, I guess it's the terminology you more so use. Manifest.
Oh, manifest.
Where I manifested to the archangel. No, I'm joking. But I'm just learning like that love is really just having to be patient and like grow in it. And so, you know, there's no manual for marriage. And it doesn't matter how many people you talk to, like nothing really prepares you for it. It's just that willingness to choose love every single day. Like that has kept us, even when we didn't want to be in the same room probably. Like you gonna be in this room, caveman style. You know, because I didn't get married to sleep by myself.
You mine.
But so what challenges did you think that you would not have, or even if you had thought about, what challenges did you have? You know, what challenges do you have, or did you have that you thought would not be challenges? Did that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You want me to go? You want to go? You want me to go? The prophetess says she wants me to go. To be honest, and to be as transparent as I can be, given the context of the conversation, for as great as I communicate, I thought I would be great at it. I thought that I would, in a sense, be running the master class and how to effectively communicate with one's spouse, and all the other husbands on the planet would be envious of me and die to get and take notes. I have been coming to learn that, and I texted you earlier this week, like, bro, I think I'm probably a horrible husband, like,
Yeah.
because I'm sucking at it, and like I'm blown away about how bad I am at it. Like, for as talkative and expressive and the somewhat master I hold over the English lexicon, I suck at communicating with my spouse. And at times, not all times, but is at the most inopportune time, my inability shows up. And that has been probably the roughest part, is that I thought that I would be able to excel in that place. I thought that I was a good listener. Apparently, I'm deaf as well. Um, I I've been struggling even in that regard, primarily because of, and I was dealing with this before. I was before the Lord, really, dealing with this. Sometimes we try to take new wine and put it in old bags. Those bags will burst. Sometimes you got to leave. If you got new wine, you got to use a new bottle. You got to use a new bag. You got to put it in something else. And I can confess to being guilty of bringing sand to the beach, so to speak. I'm in a new scenario. I have to really be about them. Is the intentionality of making sure I'm listening. It's the intention behind making sure I'm hearing what she's saying. I'm hearing what she's asking of me. Initially, to be quite honest, and we spoke about this earlier today, you think that's what you're doing. And your pride and your arrogance, you think that's what you're doing. Even in your confusion, until you really deal with it, and hopefully you're hearing from the Lord, you think you're doing it the best you can. And not really. You come to discover that you're not. And today, as I was sitting here and I'm before God, I'm like, God, you brought us this far. I got to be better than this.
Yeah.
And he began to minister to me. He gave me a whole lesson plan for real. And it's just been about really understanding I've been lacking the intention part. I could give as much lip service to it as I want to. The reality is, the truth is, the intent when she's talking, am I really listening? That's a real question that you got to be asking yourself. Even when it's going good, like, am I really listening? Because life is funny. Things come back around and you've been to miss something that probably can help you later on. So, like I said, I thought I was a great communicator. I thought I was a great listener. And I've had times where I've just it's been bad. It's been bad, but God is merciful. The woman that he's blessed me with, the love the way he set her heart towards me, I'm not worthy of by far. But truly, if there was any type of manifestation of what his love means for me in the earth, he's placed it in her. I have no problem confessing. I stand right now purely off of her love and her care for me, because she's been just that much. She's been just that good. And truly, at this particular stage in the game in my life right now, if it wasn't for her existing in my life, Lord knows where I would be. Because she's been that good. She's been that present in my life at this stage. And I never knew I needed it. And that's God just thinking more of me than I ever was of him.
Yeah.
You waiting for Eric to first one? You have a question?
I'm waiting for the promptness.
Okay.
It's on. It ain't never coming out. That's why you should talk first, because
No, because you don't make it tough. I'm just going to say ditto. Exactly what you said. Ditto.
That is, you can't ride like
Yes,
that.
I
You
can.
can't get in the car like that.
Yes, I can. I sure can. But yeah, that is a challenge with the communication part. Because sometimes I don't think he hears me. And I was talking to Dominic earlier, and it was like, sometimes when I talk, like, this man, let me tell you, it's like, I don't know if he do a whole psych evaluation or analysis, or I don't know if he think I'm a case study or something like that. Sometimes make me feel, because like, oh, I knew you was going to say that, or I knew you was going there, or something like that. It's like, but you just miss the point. Like, you miss the point when you do that, to me sometimes. But yeah, the communication is something. It's something that we need to work on. Me personally, I'm used to be transparent dealing with older guys. So I'm not saying that he's not mature, because he is mature, but I'm used to a certain mentality and things, and it's kind of different for me. So but yeah, it's something that we do need to work on. And then I'll shut down, and I will be honest about that. I'll be transparent. I'll be honest, but my shutting down is because it's like, I done told you, you ain't listening to me. I just feel like you're not listening to me. So I'll get quiet, because why do I need to explain it now? You didn't get it when I told you the first time. So I'll get quiet. I will do that. And I'm working on that. But I guess that's a way that I process what's going on, so I won't say just anything, at that time and stuff. So it's not like I just don't talk, or I just whatever. It's like, I got to process this, because how else can I bring it to you for you to get it?
Mm-hmm. How do y'all process together?
How do we process together?
Mm-hmm.
Over tea in the morning, about 5 o'clock. I bring her tea every morning as the Lord gives me strength, around 5 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 5:36, sometimes. But I bring her tea every morning, and I'll sit at her feet, and we'll discuss whatever it is that's going on. And we try our best in that moment to try to make sense of whatever it is, whether good or bad, try to make sense of whatever it is, so we can function as a unit. It's like I said, I've told you this before. This is really arguably the greatest undertaking that I have in my life right now. So, mistakes and all, I'm trying as hard as I can to make sure I do this as properly as I can. It matters so much who you marry to, because the reality is, the truth is, if she wasn't in my life, my face wouldn't even be pointed towards the Lord like it is now, because I was in a different place. I was in a different mentality. So she purely has given me the strength and the courage to really get back before God, to be back in the Word, to be back in prayer, because I understood, and I've told her before, I'm not going to be able to do this if God isn't functioning and operating in me and through me. I'm going to mess this up. So she's really been a part of my coming back to God and really focusing and locking back in to be able to function. But once again, this is a woman whose heart set truly comes from the Lord, because she has been tried in the fire, boy. Let me tell you, she has been Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. She been in it, and every day that she has remained, I have been impressed. I have been uplifted. It's made me trust God more and more, because she's shown the level of stick-to-itiveness. She's shown a level of long suffering. She's shown the level of being able to reinvent herself under some very uncomfortable times and circumstances, because she my baby, but my baby like to have it her way, and I love that about her. But she's had to reinvent herself And some of the issues and the miscarriages of me taking care of business as I should in my personal life, she's had to reinvent herself time after time again. And words will never really express how grateful I am for her patience. Because it takes that. I think when you get married, I think we really don't take into account the patience, the long suffering. I don't think we really understand what leadership looks like. We as men, we think that it's going to be us driving the car, and sometimes not really. Sometimes the steering wheel the wife has, and you got to be able to submit to that. You got to be able to humble yourself to that. And I'm in a season now where God has been stretching me and my trust in him and who he sent, because she's been leading me. She's been guiding me, especially as I go through these changes, and myself. I've been learning that I do kind of got to soften a little bit. I got to change how I communicate, how I sound when I'm communicating. I got to give a greater ear to who, what, when, where, and why. And God has been showing me that I have to follow her in this, because this is something she does. My desire is to be back functioning in ministry, and I have to change. I have to pivot from how I am. So even in this season, she's been, like I said, she's been leading me. I've been learning from her, trying my best to anyhow. And it's been a process, but she has the level of courage, the level of trust. I mean, it's words fail to really speak on what she's been and how she's been about it. She's done it kicking and screaming, but she's done it. And I pray every day that God gives me the strength and the power to be able to repay her for that, for that one kindness, because it's to go through something is one thing, but to when it's a season and the person you love is just having a rough time, that's something else. And sometimes life doesn't always, life don't always got the brakes on. You know, it just seems to be thing after thing. And keeping it 100, like it's been rough for the boy, you know, but God has kept me. He's allowed me to sustain, but it's only been because of her. You know, I thought the favor that would be added to my life would go to me at some point in time, garnering millions, or at least enough to be able to live life as successfully as I would like. But the favor has been her just sustaining us, keeping us, leading us, you know, and I'll always be grateful for it, because she got options. You know, you ain't got to stay. You know, she could always choose to do something else, and she's chosen us. She's chosen love. She's chosen God every single time. And there's no day that goes by where I feel like I'm deserving of any of that. I just thank God that he loves me enough to have planted somebody in my life such as her. And I'm gonna shut up so she can talk a little bit.
Ditto.
You can't say ditto on that one. It don't fit.
Yes. Yes, I can. What was the question? I missed the question. You know, he kept rambling, kept talking. I missed the question. But
No, the question, the challenges this go around.
Oh, I thought I already answered that, you know, with the communication. But that's really it. I mean, I know that, I mean, it's new, like I said, it's new to me. Just because of the age. It's I think that's my only thing is the communication part. I think that is it. That is it. Mm-hmm. I love this man, I do. And I just you can't even be serious. But yeah, I'm glad that I chose him. I'm glad that God chose him for me. So and I know we're gonna have our ups and downs, and nothing's gonna be perfect, but I do want it to be worth it, you know. So, you know, we need to work together and communicate and comprehend what each other is saying. Because I think, you know, we talk about, I was telling your wife earlier, you know, we talk about communication is key, but comprehension is, you know what I'm saying? You have to be able to comprehend what the person is saying or asking. And even in my silence, I'm saying something, you know. So yeah, I think that's it for me.
You know, one of the things that I hear, like, y'all, you know, obviously y'all have more time, you know, in previous relationships. But one of the things that I had to learn is that I always hear my wife, even when she doesn't speak. And like, I know that's frustrating for her because sometimes I can tell her what's on her mind, and like, I'll break it down. Like, I'm that in tune with her every move. Like, even like, I watch her when she's asleep at night. You know, I'm praying, you know, yeah, I'm up. You know, she getting ready. Like, I listen for her footsteps, you know, because I'm always anticipating how I need to be there. But one of the things that I realized in all of that is that we don't communicate the same way. I don't speak woman and she doesn't speak man. And so that was one of the barriers that I've found, that I have to learn how to communicate so that she can understand, because we can communicate and we can presume or assume that we're communicating effectively. But one of the things that you learn in business is that if the sender has the responsibility to ensure that the receiver comprehends, and that the message is not only just received but understood. And so like I've been on like this trial and error thing where like I'll ask them like, does that make sense? You know, I'm looking for some feedback now, because I already understand that the first thing is like, we don't speak the same language, because I don't speak woman. So where even like today we had a breakdown in communication, and you know, like, I'm so busy dissecting, analyzing, or doing a case study on her, like, instead of just me just taking this time to just give her the space to say everything, I'm like, I already got you figured out.
Right.
I know you.
Right. I know my wife.
I know
and I'm
my
like,
wife.
let me get my thought out.
And even when I'm right, I'm still wrong, because I didn't let her get it all the way out. And I'm like, okay, like, even though it takes her like 3 hours to get it out, like, I was telling Brad earlier, I'm like, man, I'm supposed to go back to work. You know what I mean? I'm like, I ain't got 3 hours.
But you see the growth in that it got out. Because before I would just shut down. I wouldn't say anything. I used to just, all of my thoughts were up here and I did not communicate
and
them
I would
at
go
all.
to sleep.
So I
'cause
give
I'm
you my
good.
3 hours.
That's
You know,
not
I'll
good.
trickle it down to 5 minutes, but let me
So,
progress.
but
Well, it's been different. I think for me, my communicative issue is probably my tone of voice. I don't think that it's what I'm saying. I think it's how I sound when I'm saying it. I talk hard. And this was a conversation we had Monday. I talk hard. My voice is heavy. My voice is loud.
It's deep.
And
deep
Mhm.
calls
It
and
echoes.
this will take me back to the point I was making earlier with attention to detail.
Yeah.
And she's pointed this out, and I really haven't, up until my conversation with the Lord today, it really didn't really just dawn on me about, and she's pointed this out. I'm not talking to everybody else. I'm talking to my wife. So I have to, there has to be intention there. There has to be, that's that salt that the Bible is talking about making sure your words are seasoned. You're not talking to everybody else. If she is whom you love and you know that's what that is, you got to figure out how to fix that. That's not on her to do, that ain't on God to do. that's on me to do as a man, especially when I chose to take the responsibility of loving her forever. I got to search that out. And because in my world, I told you this yesterday, I don't really think I'd be doing nothing wrong, but I'd be doing something wrong. I said that, and she looked at me real incredulously, and she was like, "The audacity of this Negro." But hearing that, saying that out loud on camera sounds different from the conversation I was having the other day. It sounded more logical the other day. Right now, that's horrible. But sometimes I'm speaking, I don't feel like my tone is anything, but apparently I got to work on that because I got to fix it. And that's one of those things, though, that where I have to fall under her leadership on, because I can't do it myself. So I have to be open to being taught. You know, I think that's a part of, and I tap into my lesson plan a little bit because the Lord gave me one. I don't know why, but he gave me one. But I'll tap into it. Leadership in a relationship or leadership in a marriage doesn't necessarily resemble what the world would necessarily say. I think the issue oftentimes in marriage is that people are trying to hold covenant by the world's standards. Marriage is a covenant instituted by God. We're trying to apply carnal or worldly things to the marriage to make the marriage work. The problem is, from a biblical standpoint, the reason why we can't do it, because in Romans we found that what? The carnal man is enmity against God. So if I'm bringing the world standards over into my marriage, I'm contaminating and perverting my marriage. Whether I want to commit it or not, or whether I see it as that or not, I'm inviting a spirit in. And it's to contaminate, it's to pervert. If I bring the world in, I'm creating a lukewarm marriage. The Bible says what? You lukewarm, I spew you out of my mouth. And sometimes we don't understand that we're trying to hold covenant, applying a worldly perception of whether it be gender roles, or a man should be leading all the time, or a woman should be submitting to this or submitting to that. No, it should be about leadership. It moves back and forth. And both parties have to be humble and accepting of that. I had to learn how to, God deals with me all the time. You got to submit more. You got to humble yourself more. You have to do that more, because you can't love who you can't see and not love who's sitting right in front of you. You got to be able to deal with who's sitting in front of you first. And so for me, it's understanding and having that attention to detail. So if it's my tone, I got to fix that. I got to search that out. I got to deal with that, because if not, I'm the one breaking the agreement. I'm the one breaking covenant. The longer I stay in rebellion, because I'm the one injuring or breaking fellowship. So that's the intentionality. That's the attention of detail that both parties kind of got to have. It's not even kind of, you got to have, because at any moment, and we're all guilty of at some point in time. And then nobody's impervious. We're all guilty of it at some point in time. But we got to understand that we can't take worldly thought processes and apply them to this, because it's a covenant that God created. A, B, if the spirit of God is at any point frustrated, we have a problem anyway. Because the spirit of God is gone. So now it's just two people.
Well,
it ain't nothing but two people. And the Bible say the heart is sinful. So if the spirit of God is gone, what we gonna do? Because the Bible says the ways of peace we have not known. So we're not gonna get it right between ourselves. We're gonna trick it up the more. But that's a piece of my lesson. But I don't want to preach that right now. That's might be for the next book or whatever. But
Mhm.
I told you there was a word.
Yeah, got me like I need to go consider my ways.
Listen, I'm before God every day, bro. I ain't prayed this much in a long time, Jack. I be
Yeah.
before God all the time because I don't want to trick this up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to and we got to understand if I wasn't able to do this properly, if God hadn't given me or deposited in us what's necessary to do this properly, he would have never brought us to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he's already deposited
Right.
everything we need to have success. God ain't never going to set himself up to look like a failure. He ain't never doing that. So if we're in a present moment, in the present time, he's already deposited in us everything we need for success.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, are we willing to do what's necessary to have it?
Mm.
And that means breaking ourselves of our will and our dependence on ourselves so that we can have unity in between us. The Bible says we clearly become one flesh.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the case, I have to be willing to break my dependence on my own thought process, my dependence on what I think. I have to be willing to do that. I have to enter into that space because that's what I'm saying when I'm saying, yes, I love you to have and to hold and all the other good stuff. I'm saying that this is what I'm going to do. And if that's what I'm going to do, it has to be a small thing to me that if my wife says, hey, babe, watch your tone, that should be nothing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That should be nothing. And not just in that way, but that level of attention to detail, that level of sometimes we got to understand that stuff that we going through in our relationships, those are small things. And we got to understand when we show a resistance, we give the enemy opportunity.
Mm.
Whether we like it or not, oh, I don't do that. No, you create the opportunity to create the dissatisfaction. Mm-hmm. Once the dissatisfaction comes in, now I ain't really tripping on what God said. I'm worried about that. I ain't feeling this no more. Mm-hmm. And now I'm not feeling this no more. The enemy gets to get in. Mm-hmm. And once the enemy get in, listen, we got to stop fronting like we know how this is going to turn out. Because we don't. All it takes is 1 or 2 words.
Right.
And everything over and done with.
Mm-hmm.
So I told you, Rob, I was before him. I was in front of him today, Jack. I was in front of him. I'm telling you, listen, you don't understand. Listen, this woman here, I will sit before him. This one can't go nowhere. I need this one. Listen, I'm telling you. And it's that level of intent and that level of understanding that we got to be mindful of what we do. Because sometimes the devil ain't got a way in until we do something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Or we do something slight that we think don't mean that much. And because we're, whether we like it or not, we're mismanaging where one of us may be at any given time.
Mm-hmm.
That slight thing is actually a major thing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because we're running off what we think and we're not being intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's good.
But I'm gonna shut up so y'all can get back to y'all programming because I roll. It's on me like that. Today is on me like that. I ain't lying to you.
No, that was good. That was loaded. I think this needs to be a part 2. I think we need to come back. No, because this is good because a lot of people, so of course, I definitely prayed, about the couples. Y'all didn't get the invite just because y'all are friends, and because we love you. Like I really trust the Lord in whatever He is communicating, and it's sometimes when we get to an end of the thing that we can really fully see the hand of God, right? And so I was literally, I'm listening, but I'm also listening in the spirit that so many people want to love again.
Mm.
Right. See, I can't help with that because I've never been married, but y'all have something so unique and profound because you said that you heard God in this. The first time was I wanted this, but the second time is I want what God wants for me. And like that is so critical. And I believe so many people are either in I want this, and they need to learn how to just wait and start saying I want what God has for me, because in all of the things that y'all have shared on this platform tonight, I've not heard anyone say they want to quit. And like that is so important. Not that we've not felt defeated within ourselves, but to choose to love again, like already is a major step. But even the more to say, like, this is what the Lord wants. And no matter what I feel, I'm going to keep standing 10 toes down. That's what got me to the altar. That's what's going to keep us every single day. And so many people are in that stage where I want what I want this. Well, hold on, let me reassess and reevaluate these desires, because his ways and his thoughts are not like ours. And so I need to adapt these godly desires, because truth be told, like I wanted to leave because I felt like such a failure. Nobody would ever know that. But because I know that this is of the Lord, and this the only reason why I am the man that I am is because of God and this woman. Like people see the stage and the platform and all this other stuff and, house and cars. But for me, I'm like, it's this woman. It's this woman. I'm like, Adam, like I woke up and you talking about what? This woman? Like I have had an awakening because of this woman. It has pushed me. It has propelled me. It has catapulted me to be better. Because I remember I told my wife, like, girl, I don't care nothing about all this stuff. I will be in a studio. But there's a undeniable hunger and thirst to continue that pushes. But anyway, I just it's beautiful to hear that, because like a lot of what y'all sharing, like is y'all know we're there with the communication, but so many other couples are there too. They're communicating, but they're not really being heard. You know what I mean? And I say this all the time. I play with the text and I'm like, Eve didn't maliciously give Adam the apple. You think she just said, yeah, I want to sabotage my see. I think we get it. We so focused on the sin that we miss the heart. We're so focused on the principle that we miss the heart of the thing. Yeah, it was wrong, but he was just as dumb for eating it too. But that ain't the point. And I think when we become more empathetic, and I'm learning this, so I dare not teach it. I'm just grazing upon it lightly because you said it, that when I set myself in my wife's shoes, like I need to hear her, even when I don't understand it, because maybe I'm slow. Maybe I'm retarded in some way. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I need to learn another language. You know what I mean? Because as articulate as I am, and as good as a listener I thought I was, like this woman challenges me. Like I'm like, I really was like in this marriage, I was gonna be like, I came, I conquered. I do no wrong. I am,
I am.
That's ruling in the Biden, I see.
Henceforth now. And, just the feedback that I get, whether it's in her demeanor, disposition, or look, it's like, dang, I didn't get that right. Like, I'm like, my God, social media has a way of making a light humor. Like, it's just because women are never satisfied. But but the reality of it is she has made me softer, and like something you said was so profound, so simple, like, you ain't talking to her. Like, I mean, I be laying out that law, old school style, Moses, straight Pentateuch, 10 Commandments, and like
Moses didn't enter the promised land.
Right.
But I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. Just saying, he had to watch that thing from the outside.
Yeah. It's ironic you said that because he did.
Joshua
did.
went.
Of course
Okay.
he did. You know your Bible. Because I was thinking about that today. After we got off the phone. And I was thinking how we hit so many things that we need to like speak to or just listen. And I was like Moses missed it, like because of one little thing, but it wasn't as much as that thing as it was like he just wasn't hearing. And I think like for me, it's like I need to hear more than wanting to be right. I need to hear more than I want to get my point across. I need to hear more than always trying to lead her. I need to hear more, just hear more. You know what I mean? Because, for the most part, I do know my wife, but my wife is growing. And if I look at her every day, how I did yesterday, I'll miss those areas that she's grown in.
I'm gonna give you a piece about Moses, though. I haven't been to a whole lot of churches, so I don't know if they teach it like this on that particular point. Moses allowed, it wasn't that Moses didn't hear, it wasn't that Moses didn't understand. Moses allowed the noise to distract him, so much so to the point that he functioned following the command of God in frustration. Thereby, instead of speaking, he smited. That's the part about intentionality, and focus, because intention says I'm paying attention to what I'm doing. Bump what I think I know, bump what I think I heard. Let me focus on this. The noise distracted him. One misstep. God now has to be God. I got to deal with this. I'm going to allow this to happen, but I got to deal with this. Why? Because I got to show you, and not even you, I have to show them. This is how I deal with disobedience. That's why we got to really count the cost when we're not choosing to be intentional. Because up until God told Moses he wasn't going, guess what Moses thought it was? He thought he was going to be prepping to make that journey. But in that moment, same thing with Saul, with David and Saul. The moment Saul went in there, didn't kill everything Samuel told him to kill. In that moment, guess what Samuel told him? The kingdom has been passed over to someone else that's going to heed God.
That's right.
In the same moment, we're in this situation, and the moment we think we know, or we're arrogant enough to believe that we know how the situation is going to turn out, we'll make a mistake. And the problem is, the reality is, the moment we create the opportunity, we can't act like the enemy ain't waiting.
Yeah.
And we do not know how it's going to turn out. We literally flying by the seat of our pants, hoping and praying. Because you just don't know. Because life is funny. Life got all these pressures on it. We're not always as transparent with our partners as we need to be. So we could be suffering over here and a crossword over there. We done been there. It don't take much sometimes. And that's where for Moses, when you really look at Moses and you look at it, he was worried. Was he wrong for being concerned about the issues of the people? No. But when the issues of the people get in the way of what's important, you got a problem.
Yeah.
Same thing with the marriage. Life is doing what it's doing, but it can't get in the way of what's important. If the love is what's important, my job, her job is to make sure that we got this right first.
Yeah.
Because the power comes because of the agreement.
That's right.
The covenant. That's why we have any favor, any power, any functionality in anything, is because we chose to be in agreement. We chose to partner.
Yeah.
So if I'm not where I need to be to make sure the unity is working, to make sure the partnership is working, we in trouble. If she, for whatever reason, may not, we in trouble. Is it? And every day, I'm learning the more of the we. I have to the I and the me part that has to always be dying, because that's where the arrogance lies. That's where the pride lies. That's where a lot of the foolishness come from. If we can keep it 100, you know, when we're not thinking with that intention that this is a partnership, you know. So, yeah, you know, I told you it's on me like that today. Oh, no. I can go for about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Listen, the bread in the oven, I can roll.
Definitely gotta
Part 2.
have a part 2 of for this. And we do apologize. We didn't really get to start on time. Y'all, but we're gonna make sure we had a little technical difficulties on both ends. But we're gonna make sure we start on time for part 2. So be on the lookout for that. We'll get the get Bishop and the approval from Prophetess. To make sure that,
nothing without it, dog. Do nothing without it.
But we love y'all. We love y'all.
Yes.
Look out for part 2. Listen, tomorrow we tomorrow. We'll let tomorrow worry about itself. Y'all know how we do this. Like we try to make it as unfiltered and unscripted as possible, but we got some things shaking and baking, as the bishop would say. But I just want to give this moment real quick to the newlyweds, if they, you know, have any closing. I feel like we in church. Closing remarks.
The word that went forth. Oh man, the word that went forth. Got anything to say, baby? You want to speak to the people?
No, I wait for part 2.
Well, if there's anything to say, I would encourage everyone with this to just be intentional. Take the opportunity to really sit and think about who it is that you're with. Not as you would like to love them and care for them, but how would God like for you to deal with the situation? You're going to be stretched. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be a challenge. But that's what it is. That's life. But you're doing it for the greater good. You're doing it so that you can live life. Because for me, I'm not trying to live life without my wife. And I'm pretty sure that if you're married, that's how you feel. If you're thinking about getting married, I would encourage you to do so. There's nothing like having a partner, especially if it's one that points you to Christ, is one that supports you. I would encourage you, listen, all my homeboys, I tell them, hey, listen, marry that woman, especially if God done dropped her in your lap, marry her, because the favor, the grace that you experience is par excellence. You can't beat it. Once again, though, I thank Pastor and his wife for having us on. Part 2 will be coming. We're just grateful. I thank God every day that they haven't failed to look at me in the light that they do. And they choose to trust the deposit that God has placed in my life. And I thank God every day that he's blessed me with this woman of God to be my wife. And I love her so much. And every day I'm just coming to know the greatness that he's deposited in her. You all keep us in prayer. We'll pray for you, and great things are to come.
Amen. We love y'all too.
Yeah.
All right. Until tomorrow, same time, same place. We love y'all. God bless. Godspeed and shalom.